skip it. See it or skip it. See it or skip it.
Welcome everybody to a new See It or Skip It. We're so glad to have you back with us after a bit of a long hiatus. We're going to be talking about Send Help, a couple other things that came out previous weeks, our Sundance recap obviously, and a few TV shows that are out that you can watch right now. So thank you all for joining, and I am joined by two of my favorite critics, Kent Dunn and Rebecca Frost. How's it going?
Hey.
We've kind of missed this.
Yeah.
I missed you guys.
I don't know how to do this.
The couches are so, they get so cold.
What do I do?
know?
Whatever I do with my hands. I need 2 mugs.
We'll be very expressive as we get into this because there's some stuff that we have to talk about.
Yeah.
First up, let's jump into Sundance Film Festival, right? This was barely ended.
Yeah.
They put out their winners. None of them that I was thinking of, except for one that I had seen. But
The clear winner, I think, probably.
yeah, but
Because
also,
the festival was a bit of a dud.
yeah. So let's first talk
throwing out
about
that
this.
take.
Yeah.
Because the festival vibes were, and I thought it was just me, that it was me that was depressed and sad. No, it was the festival too.
Mm-hmm.
There was an air of nostalgic depression of like,
Yeah.
I know this is over already, so we're just kind of,
Burning steam.
Yeah.
Essentially, okay.
Truthfully, I think a huge part of it is the weather. We have had 0 snow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And snow is just such a huge mood setter for the
Yeah.
festival.
you need that mood. And I don't know what it's going to look like in Boulder when they go there, but this one really felt different because of that. A lot of people came for the first time and were looking for that snow too, and
Yeah.
they just didn't get it.
It's also tough because they're showing the history of Sundance. They had many premieres of movies that came out 20 years ago, Little Miss Sunshine and just classics
Saw.
like that. Saw. And then all of a sudden they're like, remember these great movies? Here's a new selection that's okay.
Here's a Charlie XCX movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, it felt like, see, and it's tough to ding them too much because obviously,
You never
for
know.
anybody that submits a film into Sundance, it's the greatest thing ever. So you don't want to be like, this was the worst year,
Yeah.
and then have someone be like, but I won. Or like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
I don't know if that, but there were a lot of films that, yeah, just didn't necessarily hit the high points that we come to expect from Sundance. So Kent, what was your high point for this? What did you like, and what was one that maybe you didn't like?
High Point was called Undertone. It's a horror movie that comes out in 2 months. It's already an A24 movie.
Okay, so I'm hearing the last 20 minutes of this movie is insane.
Yes.
okay.
Who's in it?
Nobody. It is.
Well, everybody's somebody.
Yeah, everybody's somebody. I mean, that's the thing. I just don't remember her name, but she's the only person in this movie. It is
Okay, so there is a person.
It's one woman, and she's taking care of her mom that is comatose, and so, but she's the only speaking role. But she's a podcaster, and you hear one other guy's voice that she podcasts with, and they get sent these audio files because they do a supernatural podcast, and she's an unbeliever, and someone's like, hey, play these. Just see what happens.
A24, if you're a member of the club, they've been sending out clips of like just
Is
the
this
audio.
The one with those teasers that have been
Oh.
coming out of backwards audio?
Yeah.
played?
Yes, it
That's
would be.
fascinating.
But like I've been getting text messages of just audio, and I'm like, oh no, thank you.
I've gotten
No.
text
Don't
messages.
need it.
That might not be A24. I'm not sure who's sending that.
That was me. Don't play
From a
those.
burner phone.
Based on this movie, yeah, don't play them.
I haven't.
It's one of those where I always want to be surprised by horror at Sundance, and nothing else was except for I saw this one late, and I loved it.
Okay.
Worst one was called The Musical. This was an
Oh,
online release.
I liked it.
Okay.
It definitely has tones of Tim Robinson.
No, but like,
Well, there
it
you go.
aspires
Yeah.
to be Tim Robinson.
It
There's
definitely-
an art
yeah.
to him.
Yeah.
This one, the guy Will Brill, he is just kind of mean-spirited, nihilistic. And
This is the teacher, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did see it and I turned it off.
I hate it.
I enjoy it because
The
you.
dude is so unlikable.
That's
He's
the
the
thing.
most,
Yeah.
and Tim Robinson's unlikable in a quirky way. This guy's unlikable in a could get arrested soon kind of way.
But like you guys know my type of humor, so
know.
the plot of the actual musical, I was like, oh, this is actually hilarious.
Yeah.
No, I get that. So what was your favorite for the thing?
I didn't end up seeing a whole heck of a lot. Hanging by a Wire was the only one I saw in person, and that one, my palms were so sweaty.
He's weak.
Mom spaghetti. And but I didn't realize it took place only like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some incredible footage because it takes place it's a documentary about an event in Pakistan where a trolley car wire snapped. It's hanging by a wire.
This village has 2 different sides of their town, and yet they have to get from cable cart from one end to the other. And this also takes the kids to school.
Yeah.
And 8 people, 6 kids included, are on this when one of the cables snap. and then the other cable is just about to snap.
So the documentary follows their rescue, and there was a guy there who had a drone, and so there's some incredible footage, and I didn't know how the story ended, so the entire time I'm like,
Yep.
who? And I'm talking to the girl next to me, I'm like, this is insane.
And you're screaming because you're like, the bureaucracy stopping this rescue from happening.
Yeah.
That was so
Then you're like,
fascinating.
they're just up there all day. Get them.
And not just
Yeah.
that, it's more like, do not disrespect us for having a plan, you local person
Yeah.
that might actually be saving them. We've got a plan. Look at this influencer over here that knows how to zip line. We're gonna bring him. And you could tell he was already way out of his depth for it. It dipped into the night where they were still trying to do this rescue. It just got more and more tense. I watched this with my mom, Sundance at home, and we were both just like, well, we're pretty distracted now. This is
Yeah.
this is crazy,
Indeed.
but so good.
Yeah.
I really liked that documentary. Was that your favorite then?
That and Josephine,
Yes.
very sad, very heavy, but extremely well done.
Yeah, the way that they shot that visually it was literally haunting.
Yeah.
Like, some of the most horrific personal moments.
Yeah.
And Channing Tatum stars in this, and I don't want to really talk too much about the plot because
Yeah.
the minute you give the plot, no one's gonna watch it. It's
It's
that
heavy.
tough. It's
Yeah.
that
It's heavy. It's hard to watch, but
It won.
was very good.
Yeah, it was.
And like I said, there just wasn't a whole heck of a lot of other
Yeah.
good movies.
I think I saw 2 great movies, and those were the 2.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
say there's a documentary about Jane Elliott that I really appreciated.
Yeah.
This was about the brown eye, blue eye experiment that she did back in the day. If you guys don't realize this was a classroom of kids that she separated between people with blue eyes and people with brown eyes to illustrate segregation and what it's like to be the other and what that carries. But she did it at a time where people were like, you know what, you could do it today and people would be just as mad.
Sure. Yeah.
Obviously, there was a ton of backlash, but she ended up being such a big voice further on in life. And it's so fun to hear, like, Run the Jewels Killer Mike talking about how much he loves her and how insightful she was. And she's just a firecracker. Like, she will tell you bluntly like it is, and you're just going to have to get used to it. So very, very good documentary, but agreed, not a lot of others. There was one called Chasing Summer that was trying to be very positive and happy, but to me it felt like a vanity project, and that took me right out of it.
Sure.
That's what I feel like this Sundance in particular just felt like it's turning into, what is it, TIFF, that is just celebrity vanity projects now?
Yes.
And it kind of feels like Sundance is starting to turn in that direction.
Okay,
Right.
it's not a one-off, you think? You think this is going to be going into...
I don't know. I'll be so curious to see like what happens in Boulder to see if that's the
Hopefully
new
not very
direction.
much.
This did make people say, I'm excited to see what Boulder's going to be, or did it kind of make it seem like they're struggling more than we thought?
Based on a lot of the press and industry I was in line with quite a bit, people aren't too jazzed. And granted, they're going to make it a big to-do next year because it's the first year, but a lot of teams are sending less people.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Sundance, we'll miss you.
I'll miss you, and you'll be back. It's fine.
Yeah.
No.
we've
I think
talked
they
about
will.
it.
I don't think so.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll make a bet in 10 years.
Governor Cox offered like $5. Boulder offered like 10 million.
Yeah, it's going to run out.
But money doesn't matter. It's about people.
It's all
Yeah,
numbers.
it's
Utah's
money.
also not very
It's
good.
money.
All right. Well, if you guys saw any Sundance films, let us know what you thought. If you went on the online circuit and looked through anything, would love to know your thoughts. But yeah, Sundance is over, and this part is over.
Yeah.
Let's move into what is coming out this week. Luc Besson directed a Dracula movie.
My order has been studying this for 400 years. And you're the first to have captured a specimen alive. These creatures are the result of a divine curse. What exactly did I capture? A vampire.
He sure did.
And I know, it's like, when are we going to get more Dracula movies? Because we don't get them.
If there's one thing I've really been wanting, it's another Dracula movie.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, we have 20, but can't we have more?
But here's the twist. It's a romance.
No.
No, I've actually seen because this movie's been out in Europe for about 6 months. So I've seen,
What?
I've seen, no, right?
Okay.
Yeah, no, truly. And they're like, I guess the States will get it. But I've seen it on Reels and I'm sure TikTok, just a scene where he's approaching his betrothed, essentially, like his soulmate. And it's meant to be like, meant to grab people who like the romance fantasy books. This is like a Timu, Bram Stoker's Dracula from '92, wouldn't you say?
Well, Francis Ford Coppola made that. It was iconic. At the time, Gary Oldman, Keanu Reeves, Winona Ryder, like some of the best.
As everybody.
And we have in this Blurface and I Don't Care and
Christoph
yada
Waltz.
yada. And Christoph Waltz.
Cashing a
the
paycheck.
one where it's like, oh, well, at least and like you needed the gravitas for it.
Yeah.
Because there's not much else that you haven't already seen before. Even the moments that are like, we're going to expand this, we're going to give more context to it. You don't really need it. It's clearly window dressing to make an excuse for why this needs to be there.
And there's CG gargoyle buddies.
Wow, those were wild to
Right?
like. They could have been trolls. Like little concrete trolls.
Yeah, like
Remind
so-
me of the Shazam monsters that were the
Truly,
statues.
exactly like that, where he's just like Count Dracula's like, you keep Harker, keep him busy. And
He has
they're like,
minions.
okay. And they're cleaning up the place.
Minions.
I saw a trailer for this before 28 years later, and it felt like the longest trailer I've ever
like
seen.
28 years later?
It felt like 28 years. And I was like, oh, Christoph Waltz. And then a bunch of people that I don't know,
Yeah.
and some horrible CGI, and I don't.
What bothers me is how much they stuck close to not the work of Bram Stoker, but a film we've already seen. It does feel so much like they're like, well, we want to make sure that this Count looks exactly like how Gary Oldman looked. Even was like, we're going to use the same outfits in a
Yes.
lot of situations. To me, which you can't do that.
And it's really hard. I know Nosferatu is the knockoff Dracula, like by its very nature, but it was done so well a year ago. Like the dinner scene and all this sort
That's
of
like
stuff.
saying The Northman is knockoff Hamlet, right? Like it is the same story, but it is
Yes,
it is elevated in a very
But it's
different
just done
way.
so well, and
Yeah.
then you see this and you're like, I know this is the original story, but it's not done well.
Well, you know what else? Speaking of Nosferatu, the dialogue and the language that was used in there was so of the time period that
Yes.
they were shooting. This doesn't really have that so much. The
Were they
dialogue's
saying stuff like "cool"?
6, 7 for everything. Yeah, it was a lot of weird stuff like that. It just didn't really hit the same way that you would hope. And
Yeah.
when you see something and you've made so many Draculas, everyone has a favorite, and that is the test for whatever new thing comes after. So
Right.
it's always an uphill battle. I don't know why Luc Besson did this. It seemed to have done really well in Europe.
I
guess.
don't- I hope
or maybe
not.
they were like, we don't want to send it to the U.S. because it's not doing good here.
Well, yeah, we'll
either.
just like we'll shuffle it in real quietly because
Well,
that's really what's happening.
And there was a funny Dracula that came out last year, right?
It was there.
Yeah, it was like Dracula, like it was some kind of
Oh,
like.
Renfield.
No.
That was a great movie. I love
It was.
Renfield.
I have bits about Renfield, but no, there was another Dracula movie that came out last year. That very indie.
Oh my goodness!
I'm
Now
not sure I remember
I've
it
missed
either.
it. I'm
I
mad.
Maybe we
swore
should-
you
we
told
talked
me
about
about
it.
it.
Can we do a Dracula episode? It's
Yeah, maybe
next
we should.
Halloween. We're only
Dracula
gonna talk about
bracket. Let's do a Dracula bracket.
Dracula.
Dracket.
Jacket.
Done. Who are we?
All right. So this is a skip it for
It's a
you.
skip it.
This
You don't
is-
recommend
yeah,
it?
weird.
Skip it
Strange.
for me. So Rebecca, don't count on going and watching this because it's not going to be one that you're going to want to sink your teeth into.
Oh.
Let's move into the next show, which is Iron Lung.
This is not an expedition. It's an execution. When they put you in here, they don't want you to return. And even if you do, and even if they keep their promises, what freedom waits for you?
This came out last week. Markiplier, anybody that's watching this probably doesn't know who he is. I'm so
Let's
sorry.
pop him in the corner.
Yeah, there he
He's
is.
doing a let's play. A let's
Yeah,
watch for us.
Yeah, you can probably see him right now doing some type of stream or something.
Yeah.
But he's a very popular YouTuber, has about 34 million subscribers, which is not a real number. But he totally wrote, directed, edited, starred. This is based on a video game. And the production the budget that he had was at $3 million, and we both know that when you're looking at marketing and stuff, you have to times it by 2.5, so about $6 million.
Yeah.
It's made $20 million so
It's
far.
insane.
It's really doing very well, and it has to be because of his followers, right?
Yeah, and so my understanding of the video game is you're in a submarine in an ocean of blood.
Yes,
That's all I know.
accurate. So which
Same for the
it's
movie?
Great way to do some body horror stuff, right? Because it's just you're in an ocean of blood, and you're in the Titan submersible pretty much. and it's seriously, not to be
Yeah, sure.
rude, but
Not to be
that's-
uncouth.
It's just like one guy, so it's a bottle episode essentially.
He's a prisoner,
Okay.
and he's gonna basically in this way like Suicide Squad thing where he's going to get his sentence removed.
Okay.
He'll be out soon, but that's not really the case. They're keeping him down there because they have to catch something. Meanwhile, something may be alive down there too, and he's just in this place. It feels a lot like a pandemic movie where we're keeping it very constricted, claustrophobic, but it works for the story that they're telling. The story itself, for the majority of the mid part, pretty repetitive. It's the same thing.
I would imagine.
What was that? I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna walk down here. I'm stuck. And a lot of like the lights, they won't go on unless you press a button.
Yeah.
So he always has to press a button.
Very video game.
I was like, did it feel like watching a video game?
It certainly felt like watching, but all the more reason to say that this worked.
A good adaptation.
Yes, but would it work for us, for average moviegoers? I don't know.
Well, so that's why I don't know. I'm okay with the slow burn as long as it pays off.
Yeah.
Right? Does it pay off?
I would say the ending, it does give you a lot more of the body horror. It doesn't exist until that ending.
Okay.
And the ending is pretty fun to watch because there's a lot of makeup effects and stuff that I didn't expect them to do. That I was like, wow, okay, this is a great passion project. He's really going for it. It's just everything that led up to it was so meandering and so dull that you're kind of like, where was this? Like, that's more your thoughts about it. And then after you go, well, it was good, but cut 15 minutes out of this bad boy, and I think you got yourself a really good movie.
I will say, I knew nothing about this movie until last week, but all of the word of mouth that I've heard of it, even your review that's not like a glowing review, it still has me like, maybe I want to actually check this out.
But like stream it, maybe, right? So you don't have to pay attention a ton during the opening?
Well, let's ask this. Do you want to put your money where your mouth is? Do we want to support these creators that are doing something that's different and not just a reboot or something? It's an adaptation still.
Theaters are so important.
Theaters are important, and anything that's building it. I was talking to this someone at the Megaplex, and they were saying, I've never seen so many people for a Thursday matinee to show up for this. We had like 25 people show up.
That's
which
crazy.
is pretty, that's 3,000 theaters, that's your average big film, and for him to get that is even more of a testament to it.
Yeah.
But I do think it's a one and done. If you love that YouTuber, it's a one and done. If you don't know what we're talking about, but you still want to support the theatrical experience, check it out. You might have some fun. But for me, it's not really one that I would be seeking out later.
Okay. Good to know.
All right.
Wild.
Well, if you guys see it, make sure to let us know. But let's move into something that came out last week that I hadn't gotten a chance to see, which is Send Help.
Here we go. Okay.
Welcome to the Church of Sam Raimi.
Indeed.
This movie, Rachel McAdams, stunner. Where's her awards? Woman needs more awards.
The Lifetime Achievement Award, honestly. Yeah.
Rachel McAdams, Dylan O'Brien, she plays this very homely, comely, like hunched over, smells bad, bad hair, bad outfits, woman who
me.
woman who works in an office, which is very generic office.
Oh, yeah.
It's so funny. You have no idea what they do, but they are just throwing out general office jargon.
TPS reports.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And Dylan O'Brien takes over from his father as the new CEO. In a blink and you miss it cameo from Bruce Campbell, who is the deceased father.
Yeah.
And Rachel McAdams, has been promised a VP position, and it gets passed over for one of his bros. And something we learn about Rachel McAdams' character is she's a Survivor enthusiast. She has a ton of books about surviving in the wilderness. She watches Survivor. She has auditioned for Survivor. And the bros find out about this and make fun of her, of course, but karma shows its beautiful head, and the plane that they are on crashes. And so she and Dylan O'Brien wind up on an island together, and the dynamics have flipped.
Power dynamics, stranded on an island. Convince me, Kent, that this isn't just Triangle of Sadness.
It's a more fun Triangle of Sadness.
Okay.
And the less warped, maybe, even though it's still quite warped.
It's still quite warped.
What's interesting about this is she's not just this charming character that you want to succeed. She's a little messed up.
She's a little messed up.
And so you're afraid of her. You're not just like, yeah, take the boss down on the island. You're like, you may have gone too far.
She's not just a fan of Survivor, but she has like some knives taped to sticks in her backyard or something.
She thrives on the island.
Yeah, like she would never leave.
She doesn't want to leave because she's in her element, and it reflects in her costume and makeup changes and hair changes too. Like she becomes so beautiful. She's already beautiful, but like she is thriving on this island.
That's funny.
And like Dylan O'Brien, why do you want to leave? You're with this beautiful woman who's taking care of you and feeding you mangoes.
Food and all that
why are you whining?
Yeah.
I mean, I love Dylan O'Brien. How is he in this?
He's so good because you hate him.
Okay.
And then you kind of like him, and you're like, there's a chance for you. And then you're like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
He's great. Like, and it is, I will say the script got a little weak at times, right? Got a little standard, but because these two are so talented, you're like, I'm in.
Everyone is firing on all cylinders. Sam Raimi, exhibiting his finest Sam Raimi.
Does he have that iconic indie camera work where
Of course he does.
Do you want a boar cam? Because there's a wild boar cam.
there's a boar cam?
Yeah.
They were gonna say boring, but like
No,
that's not boring.
Danny Elfman doing the score.
There's supernatural jump scares where they don't need to be. And you're like, I'm so into this. And you're like, what is going on? But like, it's just such a fun ride. It's not a perfect movie.
No.
But like, you get to the end, you're all. And I actually had issues with the ending, and I'll talk about it.
I did too, yeah.
But I will say, like, I just walked out with a big old smile, and I said, "Welcome back, Sam Raimi."
Good with the crowd?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect with the crowd.
See it with the crowd? See it in theaters?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I love when I hear that. That means that we've got something good here.
Absolutely.
And I follow Shannon and Swift, the screenwriters for this movie. I follow them on social media.
Yeah.
They're hilarious.
Okay.
They wrote like Freddy versus Jason. Like they.
No, isn't that so funny?
Underrated.
Here it is. There's the one.
But
What? It was great.
Sam Raimi.
That blue hue on everything.
Yeah.
Sam Raimi fought for this movie to get a theatrical distribution because it deserves to be seen in a theater.
Yeah.
And thank God he did.
Yeah. Truly.
Okay, so of the movies, we're going to see this in theaters. That's our recommendation.
Yes.
Please.
I can't wait to check this out then. Thank you for selling me on it.
Yeah.
Let's jump over then to what's out on streaming. And this was one that came out a couple weeks ago. It's a Marvel show, but it's not very Marvel-esque, is it?
No.
More like the studio meets Marvel.
Yes, we've got Wonder Man. It's very fourth wall breaking. This is a film that's coming out, or a series that's coming out that who's our main character in this?
So Yahya Abdul-Mateen II.
Jeez, want to do something to jinx it.
I guess
And Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley. A little easier to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and it is Yahya's show, but at times it does feel like Marvel is like, oh, you recognize Ben Kingsley from a bunch of other projects that we've had him in. So
He played a terrorist in Iron Man 3. He played a fake terrorist in Shang-Chi. He had, I think, a short that was done when Marvel was doing their little short thing.
And in the Wonder Man show, it does kind of feel like it's Ben Kingsley's show rather than
Surprisingly.
Yahya's.
Yeah.
But I liked it.
I liked it. I just felt like I would have liked some more for Yahya.
I think it's a way to introduce him because he becomes, like, for me, the dominant lead at some point.
Yeah.
The clever thing about the show, because I don't like Marvel TV shows. In fact, I generally skip them.
No.
But this one, I went, wait a minute. It's not about a guy who's a D-list superhero that I barely know from the comics. It's about a guy that is auditioning to be in the movie of the Wonder Man show he liked when he was a kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and he also has latent superpowers that are very dangerous.
Yep.
And I was like, wait a minute. And then you get to and I'm like, I'm into this. It is a little studio heavy where it's like inside baseball. But you get to episode 4 and they tell the story, a one-off story about this superhero named Doorman. And I was like, what in the world am I watching? And I loved it from that moment.
Well, in I think the first or second episode, they introduced a thing called the doorman waiver, and I was like, "What is the doorman waiver?" And I googled it, and it's like, "Oh, this is just a thing in the show." It's like, oh, "Okay, weird. I guess I will watch." And then the way that they introduce the origin of the doorman waiver is awesome. I can't believe you don't like Marvel TV.
Yeah.
I've been saying for years, I think Marvel needs to just do TV.
You know what this felt like? A Netflix Marvel.
What?
I agree.
And here's what I liked about it, but here's what I really ended up not liking. And honestly, the performances are the main thing. Like both of them are great. I love their buddy
Yeah.
duo-ship. Like it's like a buddy cop, but for Hollywood, where they're like, we just want to get a paycheck.
Just actors auditioning together.
Yeah.
Yes, and I love that. Here's the thing. Marvel, I feel like, is kind of having its cake and eating it too, because they are a problem in a lot of times with the very thing that they're trying to be proud of and talk about in this, where, oh, acting, the profession of acting, it almost feels like a response to the roller coaster comment that happened with Scorsese.
Yes.
Where it's like, you're going a little too hard on that, and I understand it, but you're still a Marvel. You know what I mean? Like,
almost to the point where they made this. It's such a quality production. I loved it. But Marvel doesn't have faith in it. They made it a special presentation. He's probably never going to show up in a movie.
No.
well, I don't know.
But so here
Secret Wars, they're going to throw everyone in.
But that's why I think Marvel should pivot to just one-off character TV shows.
I would like that.
Because I think it would, like, I'm the one She-Hulk fan.
Yeah.
But,
You got to.
but like
Awesome.
She-Hulk, Ms. Marvel, Werewolf by Night, Wonder Man, they do this thing where they give creators a lot more leeway and they allow a lot more creative freedom. Whereas with the movies, Kevin Feige's got his grubby little hands on every single thing, and it's just not fun to watch anymore.
What's nice is you talked about the creators. Well, it's done by Daniel
Dustin.
Shang-Chi.
Daniel
Yes.
Dustin, and he's
And
doing the
now
new
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I think he's evolved from Shang-Chi even. I think
Shang-Chi was incredible.
but I think this is even a better production. I think
Sure.
It's more clever, and I think so. I'm so excited for what Spider-Man.
Because
will be.
again, Kevin Feige had his grubby little hands in Shang-Chi.
Take 'em away. Yeah,
Take them
honestly,
away
yeah.
and let people do it.
Because nobody needs a big
TV
dragon
show.
battle. The way this show ends, I'm like, yeah, I'm so pleased right now.
Precisely.
He needs to wash his hands if they're that grubby.
They are so grubby. I don't. The one person who saw the Marvels, but like the ending of the
I love
Marvels
that too. Nia DaCosta is a great director.
was great. But she has even said like,
She had
I
no
could only
control of that.
I could only do so much.
And a real Jonathan Majors pickle. It
Yeah.
was what it seemed like.
Right.
And that whole phase was a
Mess.
disaster in
Yes.
that. I think this is a see it for people that don't like Marvel and maybe haven't seen a lot of Marvel.
Yeah, it's fun. Like, you literally don't have to know anything about Marvel.
Yep.
They reference so much stuff in the real world that you're like, okay, so Severance exists in this world.
Yeah.
Josh Gad and Frozen exists in this
American
world.
Horror Story.
American Horror Story and Ryan Murphy exists in this world. Christopher Nolan. Like, they just reference so much stuff that you're like,
Yeah.
okay, where are we in the universe?
But it's exciting. It's exciting to see them actually deviate from the formula and try something different. Even if they're not 100% sure it's going to work, at least they got it out.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I think that's it. I think
Batwoman,
they're
Batgirl.
pivoting to, hey guys, we're just continuing Endgame with Secret Wars and Doomsday. And I think that's a bad move because there's little gems like this that exist.
Yeah.
So
I think, hot take, if they had really built Shang-Chi to continue the phases, we would be way better off.
Yeah, I got a lot of opinions
Than
about Marvel.
Iron Man or Captain America,
Truly.
if he did, things would be different, and I might think for the better.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Grubby little hands.
got a lot of opinions about Marvel, but
Me. He's gonna read this and be like, I'm gonna get him.
prove me wrong, Kevin Feige. I
Take it
dare
easy.
you.
No screeners next time. Oh boy. Well, it's a see it from all of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that about closes it for this episode. So thank you everybody for joining us. One more thing before we go. I do have to give this recommendation because it's been a few weeks since we've been on, and it's because my dad passed away suddenly a few weeks ago. It's been a bit of a transition for everybody. And one thing when we were going through, you just go through voicemails and you go through text messages. And I noticed one of the last few things that we had talked about was The Life of Chuck and how much he loved that movie. And that was his favorite movie of the year. And I hadn't thought about it until it was time to start writing things and figuring out speeches and all of that. And I was like, this was a movie that talks about life and talks about even an ordinary life is exceptional and has merit and has value. And this is available on Disney Plus right now. So anybody can go and check it out. And I would ask if you felt inclined to and wanted to see a good movie, please go and check out The Life of Chuck. It's great.
It is great.
It is great.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you for everybody for watching. And I love you, Dad. Make sure you check out all of our other content reviews, the Instagram, our social media. I don't remember where you guys are. Where do they
It
find
doesn't
you?
even matter.
The internet.
Yeah,
They're on
the internet.
they're on the internet.
Yeah,
Go
you
on
find us.
Netscape. Have fun. Thank you so much as always for watching. Here's a sneak peek at what we're going to be looking at next week.
Let us both be damned.